Good morning, everyone. I'm Barrett, and welcome to a special episode on Entertainment on High. This is our sequel to last year's Make War Not Love episode. We are going to review a few shows that I watched, and since today is Remembrance Day, these are all to do with World War II. And the first one we're going to talk about is from Netflix. It was released in 2020. Its rating is TV mature, and it was a limited series. I don't think there were more than maybe 6 episodes. It's called The Liberator, and here's the trailer for it. This has the same kind of animation reminiscent of an old Lord of the Rings cartoon I remember watching as a kid back in the 80s. It's a great style of animation, and it was such a cool fucking story. So it follows a unit of GIs in World War II that are all from the Midwest of the United States. You know, we're talking about Texas, Kansas, Arkansas, New Mexico, Arizona. There were whites, Mexicans, Native Americans, and they were kind of written off as being a useless fuck off squad, and wound up being one of the more highly decorated units of World War II. It was, like I just said, an incredible true story. It was well done. Like, this show gets you invested in the characters, plenty of action. There's obviously, it's a war show, so there's no nudity. There's a lot of swearing. There is violence, tons of it. Like, it's an action movie, war movie, but there's nothing super graphic about it. Like, you're not seeing people getting blown up or seeing people's heads explode or something like that. All the actors were great. This was a big surprise for me. Though it's already almost 2 years old, I didn't get to it until last year. And I fucking love this show.
My daughter, for the rest of my life, if ever I go silent, you seem to leave me, even right beside you. You know where I am.
Oh, yeah.
Sir, thanks probably a good idea for you to fall back to clear the snipers out. You let anyone come back to this? I think you just worry he's gonna miss me and hit one of you.
Yeah, the camaraderie is pretty cool that they develop with one another. Okay, our second entry for today is a documentary. It is also from Netflix. It came out last year in 2021. Its rating is TV mature, and it's called, there was another documentary I believe was on last year's episode called World War II in Color. This is called World War II in Color: Road to Victory, and we're going to show you the trailer right now. So they've taken all the war footage and spruced it up. Like, you can see this stuff, and it looks pretty fucking amazeballs. Like, it looks really good. They do talk about a lot of famous battles, but there are other ones that aren't quite so famous that I was really happy that they talked about. The Battle of the Philippine Seas and whatnot, showing the attack on Pearl Harbor. Right there, probably the best president the United States has ever had, FDR. There's a lot of war violence, but it's not like other older documentaries I remember where you actually got to see some pretty hardcore shit, like stuff that, you know, could easily fuck with you. But this show, I don't remember that being the case, so it has to be just that it's showing the war violence. Like, it's nothing graphic. There's no nudity. There's no swearing.
The most decisive battle in the Pacific theater in World War II. keep the Allies at bay for 4 years of the war now, and suddenly they're working their way through the interior of France, heading towards his battleground of Paris.
Hitler is underground.
Hitler's in his bunker, absolutely apeshit crazy, getting ready to fucking blow his brains out. This was a really, really good documentary. Now, I kind of forgot to mention, like, I've started giving these a little bit of a rating system because some of you have actually commented that you think that if I do that, it might help you decide whether or not you actually want to watch it. And that's fair enough, fair notice. Along with The Liberator, I would have to say that this Road to Victory documentary both deserve at least a 9 to a 9.5 out of 10. Both really, really well done. The documentary, like, if you're not American, you can get really tired of Americans saying that, you know, they were the reason why the war was won. Sure, they greatly contributed to the victory that the Allies were eventually to have, but they weren't the only reasons. So I was really glad that there wasn't a bunch of that in the documentary. That had a lot to do with how much I enjoyed it. And I would, you know, if you haven't had a chance to see it and you love World War II documentaries, this one's worth the watch. Okay, our third entry came out a couple years ago in 2020. Its rating is TV mature, and its running time is just slightly over 2 hours. It's been on my list for ages. And literally, I just finished watching this movie just a couple of days ago before we started shooting this episode, so it's very fresh in my mind. It's called The Forgotten Battle. Here's the trailer for it. So it's set in Holland, or the Netherlands, in 1944, where the Allies are preparing for Operation Market Garden, where they were hoping to maybe be able to cut across through Holland and then get into Germany and try to end the war by Christmas of 1944. In case you don't know much about the history, overall, Market Garden was a utter and complete failure. Set the Allies back tremendously. This tells the story. It intersects between three different people. There's a young woman whose brother is caught working for the Dutch resistance. There's a glider pilot, that guy right there who's just screaming. As you maybe might have noticed, the pilot of the glider is the actor who played Draco Malfoy in those beloved Harry Potter movies. And then the third character is a Dutchman who joins the Nazis. Him right there. Like just about every war movie you're ever likely to watch in your life, it's depressing as fuck. And it's very sad. But also uplifting too, because, you know, this is all based on real events. Being Canadian, it was really, really cool that when you hear about the Allies pushing to try to beat out the Germans, that it was the Canadian units in this particular area that were fighting. And you can see it's called the Forgotten Battle. I think it's called the Battle of Scheldt. Don't even ask me how to spell that, but I think it's pronounced Scheldt. It was an excellent movie. It was really well done. All the action was top notch. All the costumes and the sets were amazing. I highly, highly recommend this movie if you're a fan of war movies, or specifically a World War II. I really like to thank you for tuning in and watching this episode. It means a lot to me. I had two of my grandfathers serve in World War II and a grandmother. So, you know, when it comes to this time of year, it's pretty special to me. I hope you decide to watch some of our entries for today, and I hope you enjoy them as much as I did. If you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, it helps us out tremendously. So it would mean a lot if you could do that. And if you ever want to reach out to us with a question or a comment or a recommendation, you can do it here on YouTube in the comment section, or you can find us on Facebook, or we have an email address, which is entertainmentonhigh@gmail.com, and I would love to hear from you, all right? Peace, take care, and never forget.